My name is Joy. I work in the human resource department at a company where my father is the CEO. HR plays an important role in employee development and organizational growth, making every day fulfilling for me. Currently, I live with my parents, making it a family of 3. I have a brother, Caleb, but he's busy traveling overseas for work, so I haven't seen him in a while. My father, Joseph, is a watch collector. He collects attractive watches from all around the world and has a dedicated room for them at home. Today, he promised to show me his latest collection in his watch room.
Here it is. This is the new watch I've added to my collection. Isn't it great?
My father smiled with pride as he showcased the latest addition to his collection. Wow, it's really beautiful. Where did you get this one from?
This is a special edition handcrafted by a unique artisan from Zune.
Zune? I've never heard of it.
It's a small island nation where small craftsmen make these watches by hand.
That's amazing.
Look at how smoothly the hands move. It's like you can almost hear the passage of time.
It is really wonderful. My father spends his day in his watch room admiring and maintaining his collection. Dad, you really love watches, don't you?
Yes. Don't you feel the importance of time when you look at a watch? Life is the same way. We have to cherish each passing moment. Time doesn't wait for us.
You always say the best things, Dad.
A watch isn't just a tool, it's a partner in life. When you have a good watch, you view the time differently.
Is that so?
Exactly. How about we all go look for watches next holiday?
Sounds great. Let's go to your recommended store, Dad.
Alright, let's go find some nice watches.
I hope we find something good. So we decided to go watch shopping as a family on the next holiday. On that holiday morning, we headed to a luxury watch store. It's a store my father has known for a long time, but hasn't visited recently. As we arrived at the store,
Welcome.
A male clerk greeted us as we opened the door. He paused for a moment, sizing us up from head to toe. What's the matter?
Sorry, I don't think we can help you. This is a luxury watch store.
The clerk, named Ken, said this to us. Excuse me, what do you mean by that? We came here to buy a watch.
Oh no, you're misunderstanding. We're a high-end watch store, not just any watch shop. The watches here range from thousands to tens of thousands of dollars. I doubt you can even afford $1,000.
My family calmly replied to Ken.
So what? Just because they're expensive doesn't mean we shouldn't even look at them. Well, having people like you here to check doesn't help. You can't buy them anyway, so it's just a waste of time.
What is wrong with this clerk? I couldn't hide my frustration as I spoke to Ken. You're really rude, you know. I can't believe how rude this clerk is acting. Sure, we're dressed casually today, but it's not like we're wearing anything inappropriate. Our family loves a casual style, but we know how to dress for the occasion.
Our customers are always elegantly dressed celebrities. It's really annoying when poor people come in just to check. What are you saying? Does this store choose its customer based on clothing? Yes, exactly. We can tell by just looking at your outfit. The products here won't meet your needs, so I suggest you find another store.
How displeasing. Then my father showed Ken the watch on his wrist.
I'm wearing my favorite watch today, the one I bought from this store. Do you realize this watch is from here? I can't believe such a cheap-looking watch is one of our products. You probably got it from a bargain bin.
Ken took my father's watch and handled it roughly while saying that.
Hey, can't you recognize the value of this watch? Poor people shouldn't show off their cheap possessions. Looks like we can't have a proper conversation with you. You're the one who's not making sense. Why don't you just leave already? Poverty is transferable.
When I looked at my father, he appeared calm, but I could tell he was filled with anger. However, Ken didn't notice and continued to speak nonsense.
Alright, just leave. We're closing for the day. Please leave the store.
Ken tried to push us out of the door and lock it behind us. I grabbed the door firmly and responded. Closing for the day? It's still morning.
I said we're done serving poor people. We can't waste time on you. We have a VIP coming soon.
Are you saying we're an obstacle because a VIP is coming?
That's exactly it.
Listen, we're not poor at all. In fact, my father is the CEO of a major company, the Joseph Group. He even knows the owner of the store personally, so he decided to contact him directly. My father began making a phone call right there.
Hello? We're being treated horribly at your store right now.
Ken, not knowing who my father was talking to, maintained a proud expression.
Hurry up and leave, you poor people.
While Ken kept speaking nonsense, my father continued on the phone.
There's a clerk named Ken who's not making any sense. Can you come over? I'll explain everything in detail when you get here.
According to my father, the owner, Mr. Joel, promised to come right away. Despite this, Ken remained unaware and kept saying,
Seriously, you guys are lowering the store's reputation and mine too. I have to attend to the VIP soon. I don't have time to deal with the complaints of poor people.
We just came to see some watches. Please, let us into the store. As I tried to enter, Ken blocked me.
If you try to enter, I'll call the police.
We were stuck in a dead end for a few minutes until Mr. Joel, the owner, rushed in.
Mr. Joseph, I apologize for keeping you waiting. Owner? Why is the owner here?
Mr. Joel shot a sharp look at Ken.
What on earth is going on here? I mean, this poor family was trying to force their way into the store, so I stopped them. What are you talking about? Oh, I sincerely apologize. I don't know how to express my regret to the members of your group for this kind of rude behavior. Oh, the Joseph group? You mean that? Yes, Mr. Joseph is the head of the Joseph group. And this is his wife and daughter. Oh, but their clothes.
Our family just likes wearing comfortable, easy-to-move-in clothes. Ken turned pale and began to tremble. At that moment, the door opened again. It seemed like the VIP we were waiting for had arrived, and Ken quickly moved to greet them.
Welcome, Mr. Caleb. We've been expecting you.
However, the VIP ignored Ken and headed straight for us.
Hey everyone, sorry to keep you waiting. Now that I'm here, you can relax.
The VIP who arrived was none other than my younger brother, Caleb.
I have some important business today and I thought I'd stop by. I heard what happened.
Caleb turned to Ken with a cold smile.
Hey, Mr. Ken. I heard you've been treating my dad pretty badly.
Wow, Caleb. You're really rhyming in English.
And you even insulted his watch, didn't you?
Ken stood there trembling, unable to say a word.
Caleb, you know as well as I do that this watch is incredibly valuable. That's right. It's a precious watch because it's a Pawnee watch. I didn't know. This is one of our 6 Watch Collectors Club, or rather our Special Watch Galaxy Club's ultra-premium pieces. It's not something you can easily get your hands on. You said you liked watches, but you didn't know this one? No, I mean, the price or fame of a watch doesn't matter. What matters is your attitude toward customers who love watches. I can't recommend a store with clerks like you to members of the Special Watch Galaxy Club. That's true, or to the Pawnee Group. That would be a huge problem for us. Without recommendations from people like Mr. Joseph, our small store can't survive. I sincerely apologize. We'll make improvements immediately so the members can be rest assured. Okay, then we need to refresh the store's service first. Yes, you're absolutely right. Mr. Joseph, I am truly sorry for the employees' rude behavior. We will ensure this does not happen again. Oh, I have a good idea.
It seems Caleb thought of something.
Hey, why don't you send the clerks to SIS for employee training? SIS is a specialist in employee training, right? That's a great idea. What do you think, Joseph? SIS training is definitely excellent. You can count on us. Please, it would be an honor to have Mr. Joseph train our staff. Deal settled then. Just so you know, my training is pretty tough. By the way, what are you going to do about that clerk, Joel? Of course, he'll be dealt with harshly. Ken, come over here.
The owner grabbed Ken by the collar and dragged him to the back of the store. You could hear the owner's angry voice and Ken's excuses for a while.
Thank goodness for Caleb. Seriously, you saved us.
Thanks a lot, Caleb, but how wonderful to know that you are a VIP.
No problem at all. I always rush over whenever and wherever I'm needed, especially when my family and my baby sheep are waiting.
After that, we enjoyed a satisfying shopping experience. As for Ken, he was, of course, fired from the store. Later on, he ended up paying damages for the many complaints from customers. Apparently, he had insulted other customers as well as showing attitude to other clerks. As a result, he ended up with a huge debt. Ken was introduced by Caleb to a fishing boat run by a member of the Special Watch Galaxy Club, where he was forced to do hard labor. Life at sea was harsh, and laziness was not allowed. He worked from early morning until late at night with no time to sleep, fighting fatigue every day. It was the result of his own doing. Meanwhile, we had a welcome home party for Caleb, who had come back after a long time.
So, when did you get back to USA, Caleb? Yesterday. You have a big news? That's right. I recently got a new position.
Oh, really?
I've become an executive director at a watch company.
Which company?
Zune's company. Wow, Zune? Oh yes, I know them well.
That's really amazing. Congratulations, Caleb.
Thank you. With Zune watches, Joel and I are business partners too.
I see, so that's why you're a VIP.
Yes, I plan to introduce many more Zune watches in the future. That's awesome. It will be a busy year for small craftsmen too. Well then, let's toast with our traditional homemade pudding to celebrate Caleb's success and the prosperity of the Joseph family.
Wow, homemade pudding.
For the prosperity of the Joseph family and Caleb's success, cheers. Cheers!
Let's continue to work together as a family. Thank you for watching. What kind of adventure will the Joseph family have next? Stay tuned to find out.
Hey, you don't need to visit Matthew in the hospital?
Huh?
Poor guy. Apparently the brakes on his car failed and he ran a red light. He has many fractures in both legs. He probably won't ever walk properly again. Well, it might be your fault, you know? You're the daughter-in-law, yet you talk back to us. I'm sure you brought this bad luck upon him.
But Matthew is at home. I'm Megan. I've been married to my husband Mike for 20 years. I'm a working mom.
How have you been lately, Mom?
Oh, ever since your dad passed away, I just haven't felt like doing anything.
Oh, I see.
My father-in-law recently passed away suddenly from an illness, and since then, my mother has been completely hopeless. So, to her helper, we decided to move in with my in-laws.
Thank you, Megan, for living here with me.
No problem, Mom.
You don't have to worry about rent or anything. Just take it easy and think of this place as your home.
Thank you so much. Previously, we were living in an apartment, but our only son, Matthew, graduated from high school and got a job, so he moved out. The place felt too big for just the two of us. Living with my mother-in-law had been peaceful and without any issues until now. I'm home!
Oh, you're back. Why are you getting home so late?
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to stay late at work.
That is what you always say. Is it really true?
Her sudden question caught me off guard.
Anyway, as the daughter-in-law, your job is to take care of the house. Mike had to settle for a microwave dinner tonight.
But...
No buts. When it was just the two of you, Mike understood your work situation and never complained when you couldn't do the house chores. This is unbelievable. So how long are you planning on working?
Well, I like my job, and as long as I'm physically able to...
Stop it already! Are you trying to ruin this family? What kind of job do you even have?
I'm a sales representative for an insurance company.
Selling intangible things like that? Why bother? Quit that job right now and stay at home. Don't you understand that at your age?
Even if I argue, my mother-in-law insists on me quitting my job.
Besides, why do you need to come home so late?
It's busy season.
Is that so? You're probably seeing another man outside.
That's not the case.
Maybe you're hitting the nail on the head.
That's not true.
Hey, Mom, what's going on?
In the end, this argument was intervened by Mike and ended. Mom went back to her room looking dissatisfied.
By the way, Megan, how long do you plan to stay here rent-free?
But didn't you say we could stay here without paying rent?
So you're planning to stay here for free? You really have some audacity.
She's trying to get back on our original agreement without any hesitation. I can't believe she's acting like this. My father-in-law left her an inheritance when he passed, so there's no way she's really hurting for money.
Are you really that desperate for money? You moved into our house because you said your old place was inconvenient. Now you won't even pay rent? You're such a terrible daughter-in-law.
Her intolerable behavior was too much, so I finally decided to defend for myself. You said it yourself, Mom. You told us we could stay here without paying rent. If you're going to deny your word, then we'll move out.
What did you say? You're just a woman. How dare you talk back to me?
Once again, it was Mike who stepped in to stop the argument. We finally resolved the issue by giving Mom some money to keep her happy. I wasn't satisfied with the situation, but at least she stopped demanding rent. However, just when things started to settle down, another problem cropped up.
What's wrong, Naomi? My husband cheated on me, so I decided to bring Jude here.
Mike's sister Naomi, who is my sister-in-law, showed up at the house with her son Jude.
Oh, that's really rough. I'm sorry to hear that.
So who's this lady? Don't you remember Aunt Megan? You've met her a few times before. Nope. Why is she here depending on the family? Isn't this house crowded enough already?
Jude had all the signs of a rebellious teenager with no manners. Thankfully, he was usually out with his troublemaker friends, so he didn't bother us much. Naomi, on the other hand, was another story. One day I realized my watch was missing. I've been forgetting things a lot lately, so I thought maybe I left it at work. Just as I was about to head out, Naomi came back home after being out all night. Good morning, Naomi. Out pretty late, huh?
How is it your business, outsider?
Wait a minute, is that my watch? Naomi was wearing the watch I always wear. Hey, why are you wearing my watch?
Oh, relax. It was just lying around. You've got such a gloomy look, but you wear nice stuff.
That's not the point. I saved up for that watch in my 20s, and it's really important to me.
I see. That's why it looks so worn out.
She casually tossed the watch onto a table and went into her room. Since then, I started noticing money disappearing from my wallet, among other things. I told Mom about it, but she wouldn't listen.
Oh, don't become angry and complain over nothing. My Naomi would never do such a thing.
I ended up bringing a small safe into the house to store my valuables, but it was a problem to unlock it every time I needed something from my wallet. What? The small safe I brought was broken into. That's it. I've had enough. Naomi, we need to talk.
What's up, Auntie? Why are you making a scene?
Did you do this? You broke into my safe, didn't you?
Oh, the safe is broken. Are you trying to blame this on me?
Yes, I am. It was definitely you.
Mom! Ugh, what now? Is this girl complaining again? Yes, she's saying I broke her safe. Maybe she lost the key herself, so she had to force it open. Yeah, it can be. You're really hopeless. If you hate us so much, just move out already. Of course, you'll be paying damages. Since you're an adult now, you must have saved up some money. It's a real trouble to deal with someone who accuses others of theft without evidence. How about we demand $100,000 for the trouble?
I do have evidence. I showed her the screen of my smartphone. It had footage of Naomi and mother-in-law breaking into the safe.
How can you?
Well, nowadays, security cameras are small but high performance. Really convenient, isn't it? Now, how about you return the watch you stole from me? Naomi took the watch out of her back pocket and placed it on the floor. I can't live with people like you anymore. I'm moving out by tomorrow.
How dare you? You're just a daughter-in-law. How can you act so high and mighty?
Leaving the annoying mother-in-law behind, I left the house. The next day, a car with a red license plate pulled up in front of my former home. This car was a final gift from my husband to our son, with just a down payment paid for his job. My husband and I returned to my parents' house with the car, and for a while, we used it to help move into my parents' home. Even though it was inconvenient for him, my husband stayed at his parents' house to help with the move.
Hello? Oh, it's you, Megan.
She sounded happy and told me.
Why haven't you visited Matthew?
Poor
guy. Apparently the brakes on his car failed and he ran a red light. He has many fractures in both legs. He probably won't ever walk properly again. Well, it might be your fault, you know. You're the daughter-in-law, and yet you talk back to us. I'm sure you brought this bad luck upon him. Seems like you got what you deserved.
But he's here at home, though.
Oh, stop with the bad jokes. I'm hanging up now.
What's going on, Mom?
Nothing.
Hey, Megan.
I was confused as Mike rushed into the house. What happened?
Something terrible has happened. Naomi and Jude's car got into an accident. They're at the hospital near the station. We need to go now.
Okay, let's go. Despite my confusion, I headed to the hospital. When I entered the room, Jude and Naomi were lying in bed. Both of their legs were wrapped in bandages, but they seemed to be conscious.
Thank goodness their lives were saved. What happened?
We were driving together and suddenly the brakes failed. We ran into a red light and then a truck crashed into us. The truck driver is fine, but look at us. I think I'll never walk properly again and Jude will need rehabilitation for a while.
I see.
Why did this happen? Why did the brakes fail completely? I'm going to sue the maintenance company. I'll get $1 million or even $10 million from them.
Please, calm down. Naomi, usually so proud and arrogant, was now completely pessimistic and depressed.
Didn't you notice that the brakes weren't working? Didn't you step on them even once before the accident?
The accident site is reportedly 1 kilometer away from home.
Well, I guess I was also careless too.
Naomi dodged the question with an unclear answer. At the end of the room, my mother-in-law was pale and trembling. Mom, are you okay?
Ah!
My mother-in-law was staring into space, trembling uncontrollably.
Mom, do you have any idea why this happened?
Mike then spoke coldly.
What? Don't shout on me. I have no idea.
Mother-in-law answers in a voice that sounds like she's about to cry.
Well then, we'll check the dash cam footage now. Naomi, you have a dash cam in your car, right?
Yeah.
Where can we view the footage? It should be available on your smartphone.
Sure.
I'll borrow your phone.
Wait.
Mike grabbed Naomi's smartphone and started operating it.
Stop it! Are you a police officer or something?
Be quiet, Mom.
Mike scolded his mother and continued to operate the smartphone. What we saw there is,
I'll make my daughter-in-law understand. Her son is like her, and he is not coming to me so much. So, I hate him. I'm glad he's getting a taste of his own medicine.
What's going on? What is this?
What do you mean?
Did you tamper with the car's brakes?
I can't do something like that.
Naomi's mother trembled and denied everything. She was clearly panicked and unstable.
Mom, did you?
Naomi's mother lost control and started to panic. It turned out she had mistakenly tampered with Naomi's car's brakes instead of Matthew's vehicle.
I can't believe it.
Mom, did you try to kill your own daughter? No, that's not true. I was aiming for that awful daughter-in-law's son's car. What do you mean? It was too dark to see clearly. Don't joke around.
Naomi picked up a vase from the bedside and threw it at her mother. If I remember, Matthew always complained that Naomi often parked anywhere. I guess even this time Naomi parked randomly, so their parking space might have exchanged. So this is why mother-in-law was confused.
You didn't park at your usual place. That's why you caused this mess. This whole situation could have been avoided if you hadn't done something like this. If you're going to do something like that, you might as well poison them to make sure they die.
You were told?
Mother-in-law, with her face swollen and tears streaming down, was being questioned further by Mike.
What do you mean? Who told you that?
No, that's not true.
Who told you? Tell me. I found this at the house.
Mike took out a business card. It had the name of a host club and Gina written on it.
You've been visiting host clubs, haven't you? I found out that the inheritance from my father is completely gone.
I needed money, so I was looking for ways to get it. So he said this is the way. I'm not at fault.
So you were trying to make it look like an accident to get insurance money? I will report this to the police, old woman.
Completely crushed, Naomi's mother collapsed onto the floor. She was then carried away to a room.
Well, that solves everything. What a terrible mother.
Wait, Naomi, why did you drive for 1 kilometer with the brakes not working? I need to check the footage again.
Please wait.
Mike played the footage again. It showed Naomi and Jude moving the safe into the car. Wait, that safe? Isn't it from our house? It had our passbooks, stock certificates, and watches in it. What's going on?
I was just trying to help with the move.
You don't know where we live now, do you?
Naomi claimed her husband was unfaithful, but she was the one cheating and was being served divorce papers. She was selling off household items to pay for the compensation, but ran out of money and took from our assets. You and your son are truly disgusting. I'll make sure the police know about this too.
I'm sorry. I felt like I might lose everything due to the compensation. That's why I took out my stress on you. I'm sorry. I'll never do it again. Look, I've been punished with this body. I cannot walk permanently. Don't you feel sorry for me? Help me. I'll listen to everything you say from now on. We're family, right?
Tell the police the same thing when they come. Then make sure to stay in hell together with your son, this disgusting mom and son. Ignoring Naomi's crying and pleading, we left the hospital room.
Am I dying like this here? I cannot forgive them.
Naomi's mother was arrested for attempted murder. Despite being 75 years old, she was sentenced to life imprisonment due to her severe crimes. She spent her days crying in prison, vowing revenge on us, but it would never come to pass.
Mom, I'm hungry.
Take care of it yourself.
Naomi and Jude now live in a rundown apartment on the outskirts of town. Naomi is unable to walk and Jude is in a depressed state due to his injuries. He is growing weaker by the day. As he is naive, he cannot even rely on government assistance.
Alright, let's drive.
Be sure to drive safely. This incident strengthened the bond within our family. Recently, we enjoyed a day trip together driven by Matthew. Our family's bond will remain unbroken forever.